Greetings, seekers of truth, and a warm welcome to the morale. Think for a moment. If someone told you right now that you possess within you the power to completely change your life, would you believe it? Probably not. The sad truth is that most people fail to recognize the immense power dormant within themselves. George Matthew Adams's classic book, You Can, teaches precisely this, that absolutely nothing in life is impossible if you learn the art of keeping faith in yourself. This book explains that a person's greatest enemy is not the world outside, but their own fear. Conversely, their greatest strength is their belief. The story begins with that single thought, hidden deep within every person, a thought that is often too afraid to step into the light. This thought whispers, "I can do it," but our conditioned mind repeatedly shouts back, "No, you can't." This internal battle is the beginning of real life. The author states that the person who conquers their own mind conquers the world. Why? Because every great task begins with a single thought. If the thought is right, then no matter how high the destination, it can be achieved. Adams explains that self-confidence is not magic, it is a process, the process of proving yourself to yourself day after day. When you make small promises to yourself every day and actually keep them, the self-confidence within you begins to grow. Suppose you resolve to learn something new every day. Gradually, a new self-assurance is born within you. This very self-assurance is what leads you on the path to success. A central message of the book is that to achieve success, it is not necessary to become like others. Rather, you must recognize yourself and live according to your own nature. Every person in this world has a special talent that is unique to them. The tragedy is that we often don't discover it because we waste our precious time imitating others. George says that a person must become their own biggest supporter. If you don't believe in yourself, rest assured, no one else will. The author emphasizes repeatedly that it is important to dream in life, but dreaming alone is not enough. Hard work and dedication are the fuel needed to fulfill them. Dreams only become reality when you are ready to sweat for them. The person who gives up can never win, because real victory belongs to the one who keeps trying until their very last breath. In one chapter, George explains that fear is humanity's biggest obstacle. We refrain from doing so many things simply because we feel we will be unsuccessful. But being afraid of failure is the biggest mistake of all. Failure is actually the teacher that shows us what to do and what not to do. When you fail, a new understanding is born within you, and that very understanding is what leads you to success the next time. At one point in the book, the author writes that life is like a vast field where everyone has to create their own place. No one is going to hand this place to you. You have to carve it out yourself. If you keep working hard, no power in the world can stop you. But if you give up, no one can make you win. George says that the person who learns to control their thoughts can write their own destiny. Thoughts are the seeds from which the trees of life grow. If the thoughts are positive, flowers will bloom in your life. If the thoughts are negative, only thorns will grow. This is why the mind should always be filled with good thoughts, because the mind is our greatest laboratory. The book shares another beautiful message that service and gratitude make a person strong from within. When you help others, the fear within you automatically vanishes. And when you feel gratitude, your heart remains peaceful. George says that saying thank you is a magical habit that every person should adopt. One chapter of the book reminds us that every day in life is a new opportunity, yet we often fail to recognize it. We think we will do something good tomorrow, but the truth is, every tomorrow begins today. If you do nothing today, tomorrow will remain exactly the same. This is why the author insists that now is the moment you should begin. The step may be small, but it is vital that the step is taken. George Matthew Adams also reminds us that success is not measured merely in wealth or fame. Real success is when you are happy with yourself. It is when you feel that you have lived your potential to the fullest. When you can inspire someone else, that is real success. The book teaches that when circumstances seem impossible, you must look in the mirror and tell yourself, "I can." These two simple words awaken the dormant power within you. This book reminds us that a person's power lies in their thinking. If the thinking changes, the entire world changes. George Matthew Adams believes that every person has a spark within them that ignites at the right time to make them great. But this spark only ignites when you give it air. That air is positive thoughts, hard work, and trust. This book also teaches us to never consider yourself less than others. When you view yourself as inferior, your energy weakens and you drift away from your goal. Remember that every person's path is different, so stop comparing and walk your own path. George Matthew Adams says that human life is a seed in which countless possibilities are hidden. But for that seed to bear fruit, it needs the right soil, the right direction, and the right care. If you don't tend to your thoughts, they get lost in the jungle of negativity. But if you water them with positivity every day, they grow into trees of success. He says that two voices run inside every person. One says, "I can," and the other says, "I cannot." Your life depends entirely on which voice you choose to listen to. If you listen to the voice of fear, your life will shrink. If you listen to the voice of courage, the world will be at your feet. Another profound idea in the book is that success doesn't come just from hard work, but from the right thinking and direction. If you just run without thinking, you will only get tired. But if you walk with a plan, you will surely reach your destination. George advises us to start our day with a clear purpose. When you know where you have to go, the paths start opening on their own. He also explains that self-discipline is life's greatest weapon because it keeps you on the path where others give up. The person who controls themselves is the one who touches the highest peaks of life. The author says that success is not a matter of one day. It is the result of small decisions made every single day. It is written in the book, ask yourself one question every day. Did I do something today that will make me better than yesterday? If the answer is yes, you are moving forward. If not, you need to change direction. The biggest improvement in life happens when a person learns to observe themselves. George says that a person should never forget that they came to this earth for a reason. Every person has a purpose, but most people don't find it. They just pass their lives, whereas they should live them. To recognize your purpose, you have to ask yourself repeatedly, what work gives me joy? For what thing can I put in my wholehearted effort? That is your true path. The author believes that inspiration does not come from outside. Inspiration is born from within. When you promise yourself that no matter what happens, I will not give up, that resolve itself becomes your inspiration. External circumstances will keep changing, but if your mind is strong, nothing can stop you. George Matthew Adams also explains that real strength is visible when everything is against you, and yet you move forward smiling. When circumstances are bad and you still keep trying, the universe comes to your side. This is the moment when miracles happen. The book explains that you should not consider failure an enemy, but rather consider it your teacher. Failure teaches us what success never can. Every time you fall, you become stronger. Every loss brings you closer to victory. The author says that the person who is afraid of falling can never fly. George says that in life, don't wait for opportunities, create opportunities yourself. Many people claim they don't have chances. But the truth is that opportunities are everywhere. You just need the vision to see them. When you desire something with complete sincerity, the entire universe starts helping you. Another important part of the book is to give place to goodness in your life. Goodness is the energy that makes everything possible. When you think for the welfare of others, life becomes even more beautiful for you. The author says that success is not just in living for yourself, but also in touching the lives of others. George Matthew Adams says that if you want to become great in life, start working on yourself. Change your thinking, your habits, and your perspective. External changes always start from internal changes. If you make yourself better, your life will automatically become better. The book also states that to maintain inspiration, you must surround yourself with good people. The people you spend time with shape your future. If you live among negative people, your energy will be depleted. But if you live with positive people, the fire within you will keep burning. The author says that the real secret of success is continuity, to keep moving constantly, no matter how many obstacles appear. The world remembers those who never stop. Every step on the ladder of success is difficult, but every step brings you closer to your destination. In the book, George also says that you should fill your mind with inspiring thoughts every day. The mind becomes what you feed it. If you repeat to yourself every day that I can, then gradually your subconscious mind will start believing it, and then your entire life will start changing in that direction. George Matthew Adams says that the human mind is a deep ocean. Infinite thoughts, emotions, and imaginations flow within it. But the person who gains control over this ocean is not afraid of any storm. The first step to making the mind powerful is to understand it. When you start recognizing your thoughts, you realize how your life is being shaped, because your life is just a reflection of your thoughts. The author explains that to keep the mind calm, spend some time with yourself every day. Remain silent for a few moments so that the voice within you can be heard. When you connect with yourself, you discover your real fears, your true dreams, and where your strength lies. This self-awareness makes the mind powerful. George advises starting your day every morning with positive thinking. As soon as you wake up, your mind is most receptive. If you start the day with fear and worry, the whole day will follow suit. But if you started with belief and enthusiasm, the day will be filled with magic. He says, upon waking up, tell yourself, today I am going to do something better in my life. I will use my full potential and accept whatever comes before me with a smile. When you start every day with this thought, the universe starts giving you more opportunities. In the book, George Matthew Adams also said that it is necessary to maintain balance in life. If you just keep working and don't give time to yourself, inner peace will be destroyed. Success looks beautiful only when it is accompanied with peace of mind. Therefore, the author advises taking a little time every day for your hobbies, your family, and your inner peace. He says that a person who knows how to love themselves can give true love to others. If you hate yourself, you won't be able to see anything beautiful in the world. George explains that self-love is not arrogance. Rather, it is the feeling that brings out your best self. The author believes that the person who learns to forgive becomes free from within. Anger and hatred make the mind weak, whereas forgiveness makes the mind light and free. When you forgive someone, you do it not for them, but for yourself, so that the energy within you can flow again. Another important lesson from the book is to think something good, say something good, and do something good every day. These 3 simple rules can change your life. George says that goodness always returns. If you spread light in someone's life, that light will illuminate your paths as well. George Matthew Adams also explains that in life, instead of running away from problems, one should accept them. Every problem brings a lesson with it. When you face a difficulty, it makes you stronger. The author says that whenever you are stuck in a problem, tell yourself, this is an opportunity for my growth. He also explains that 3 things are necessary to achieve success in any task: a clear goal, the right attitude, and continuous effort. If even one of these things is lacking, success remains incomplete. This is why you have to mold yourself according to these 3 qualities every day. It is written in the book that the person who writes down their dreams and reads them every day ultimately makes them come true. The mind starts doing what it sees and hears repeatedly. If you see your goal every day and believe in it, gradually the universe will start materializing it. George says that to achieve success, it is essential that you trust the voice within you. That voice shows you the right direction. Many times we change our path after listening to others, but the one who listens to their heart walks the right path. Therefore, recognize the voice of your heart because it is your true guide. He also says that when you move towards a big goal, fatigue and disappointment will visit you many times. But remember that this is a sign that you are on the right path. If the path were easy, everyone would be there. Difficulties are proof that you are about to do something big. In the book, George Matthew Adams says that the real winner is the one who smiles even after losing, who gets up even after falling, and who finds light even in the darkness. These are the people who change history. He has said that as long as you keep believing in yourself, no one can defeat you. Finally, the author reminds us that the purpose of life is not just success, but growth. The habit of learning something new, doing something good, and thinking big every day is what makes a person great. If you keep becoming a little better every day, one day you will reach a place you are only dreaming of today. George Matthew Adams says that you are the creator of your own life. No one else writes your destiny. Your thoughts, your words, and your actions create your future. He explains that every thought is like a seed sown in the soil of your mind. If this seed is positive, flowers will bloom. If it is negative, thorns will grow. Therefore, always pay attention to the quality of your thoughts. The author explains that miracles don't happen when you wait for them, but when you resolve to make them possible yourself. George says that the power of a single thought is infinite. When a person with full belief considers something possible, the universe starts working to realize that belief. This is the secret by which the impossible becomes possible. At one point in the book, George Matthew Adams said that a person should learn to believe in themselves. When you believe in yourself, the entire universe stands with you. Self-confidence is the key that opens every closed door. He notes that man's greatest weakness is considering himself small, whereas his soul is a source of infinite power. He says that the most important thing to achieve success is continuity. Many people start work with enthusiasm but stop in the middle. The real victory belongs to those who persist until the final moment. George explains that when you try repeatedly, every attempt brings you closer to your destination. The author also explains that to bring greatness into your life, you must first change the direction of your thoughts. If you keep thinking repeatedly that you cannot do it, you truly won't be able to do it. But if you tell yourself every day that I can, I am doing it, and I will make it happen, then your mind and body will start working in that direction. This is the secret by which great people turn their dreams into reality. George says that positive thinking does not mean that difficulties will not come in life. It means that when difficulties come, you will not let yourself become weak. You will try to see something good in every situation, because this very thinking takes you to great heights. In one place, he has written that a person should befriend their fear. Fear is the place where your real strength is hidden. When you face fear, it vanishes, but when you run from it, it grows bigger. George says that instead of running from fear, challenge it. Every time you win over fear, a new level of self-confidence is born within you. He says that the person who learns to control their thoughts becomes the true king of life. Thoughts are the root of everything. Your health, your wealth, your relationships, all are born from your thinking. If the thinking is good, everything will be good. Therefore, keeping your thoughts positive every day is the biggest success. George Matthew Adams says that hard work is the magic that makes the impossible possible. He states that the person who works without stopping, who moves forward without making excuses, achieves everything one day. Hard work tests you, but that very hard work also makes you strong. The author explains that to achieve success in life, not just thinking and hard work, but belief is also necessary. Belief is the power that keeps you walking even when the path is not visible. He has written that when a person trusts themselves and the divine, the entire creation starts helping them. The book also says that you should develop the habit of learning something new every day. Knowledge is the treasure that never runs out. George says that when you stop learning, you stop growing.
Therefore, ask yourself every day, what new thing did I learn today? He also says that a person should never complain, because complaining drains the energy of the mind. If you use that same energy in positive work, a miracle can happen. George says that the person who changes their perspective instead of the circumstances is the true winner. A beautiful message of the book is that a person should always maintain hope. Hope is the light that shows the way even in darkness. When everything seems to be over, if you still remain filled with hope, a new beginning can happen. George says that life always gives a second chance. You just have to maintain belief. He says that a person's life becomes beautiful only when they learn to be proud of themselves. Instead of being ashamed of your failures, learn from them. Those very experiences prepare you for the next success. If you learn to get up after falling, no power can make you fall. The author explains that to achieve success in life, not just thinking and hard work, but belief is also necessary. Belief is the power that keeps you walking even when the path is not visible. He has written that when a person trusts themselves and the divine, the entire creation starts helping them. The book also says that you should develop the habit of learning something new every day. Knowledge is the treasure that never runs out. George says that when you stop learning, you stop growing. Therefore, ask yourself every day, what new thing did I learn today? He also says that a person should never complain, because complaining drains the energy of the mind. If you use that same energy in positive work, a miracle can happen. George says that the person who changes their perspective instead of the circumstances is the true winner. A beautiful message of the book is that a person should always maintain hope. Hope is the light that shows the way even in darkness. When everything seems to be over, if you still remain filled with hope, a new beginning can happen. George says that life always gives a second chance. You just have to maintain belief. He says that a person's life becomes beautiful only when they learn to be proud of themselves. Instead of being ashamed of your failures, learn from them. Those very experiences prepare you for the next success. If you learn to get up after falling, no power can make you fall.
George Matthew Adams also says that a person should be happy to see others' success. When you celebrate someone else's success, the energy within you increases. Jealousy weakens you from within, whereas praise makes you strong. The author says that everything in life has its time. If you are not achieving success right now, it doesn't mean you are a failure. It means you are still learning. And when your time comes, the whole world will see what you can do. At the end of the book, George Matthew Adams says that when a person takes control of their own life and repeats every day that I can, then their life changes completely. He says that the most important things to make any dream come true are a clear thought and unshakable belief. He says that the person who adopts these three things in their life, a clear purpose, continuous effort, and positive thinking, cannot be defeated in any situation, because they know that miracles start from within, not from outside. According to George Matthew Adams, you can do everything that you truly want to do. You just have to believe in yourself, prove yourself, and take one step forward every day. Because in the end, victory belongs to the one who says, I can. The most inspiring part of this book is that George Matthew Adams talks about that light hidden within a person which never goes out, no matter how dark the circumstances. He says that every person has a divine power within them that leads them towards their purpose. But this power only awakens when you start believing in yourself. When you accept that the responsibility of your life is not anyone else's but yours, only then do you become the creator of your destiny. George says there are two kinds of people in the world. One group decides by looking at circumstances. The other group changes circumstances with their decisions. The first class always depends on others, whereas the second class recognizes the power within and creates something new. He has said that if you want to become great in life, you will have to live not like others, but in your own way. Those who think differently make history. In one chapter of the book, George explains that the real secret to achieving success is that you never let your dreams die. Dreams are the fuel that moves you forward. When a person stops dreaming, the flame within them is extinguished.
Therefore, no matter how many difficulties come, keep your dreams alive, because they will determine the direction of your life. He also says that to find true happiness, you have to learn to give. The most satisfaction in the world comes to the one who helps others. When you lift someone else up, you yourself rise. George says that life's greatest achievement is not how much you earned, but how many people you made better. If you believe with your full heart, then the entire creation starts making it possible for you. This is the same principle seen in the life of every great person who made their thinking so strong that even the impossible bowed down. George says that when your thoughts connect with your belief, you cannot be stopped. George says that man's greatest weapon is his attitude. It determines how you view any situation. If you adopt a learning perspective in every situation, no failure can stop you. But if you start complaining, even the biggest success will seem incomplete. Therefore, always keep your attitude high, no matter how low the circumstances go.
Another profound message in the book is that you cannot move forward until you forgive yourself. Many people remain stuck in their past mistakes and blame themselves. But George says that man is born not to make mistakes, but to learn from them. Consider every mistake an experience and become stronger from it. He also says that success comes when you become emotionally connected to your goal. If your goal is close to your heart, you will do anything for it. But if the goal is just for show, you will give up in the middle. Therefore, choose dreams connected to your heart. They will keep you motivated. George Matthew Adams also explains that a person should challenge themselves every day to become better. If you become a little better every day, a year later, you will not be the same person you are today. The real joy of life is in this growth. Therefore, compete with yourself, not with others. The author says that the start of any big task always begins with small steps. If you keep taking one step forward every day, one day you will reach where it seems impossible for you to go today. No mountain can be climbed in a single leap, but it can definitely be climbed step by step. This principle applies to every dream. He says that every person has a voice within them that shows them direction. But we don't listen to it because we get lost in the external noise. When you start connecting with yourself, that voice gradually becomes clear. And that very voice tells you what you have to do. George says that the person who hears this inner voice becomes the true winner in life. In the last chapter of the book, George says that real success in life is achieved when you break the limitations within yourself. When you accept that nothing is impossible for you anymore, then no obstacle in the world can stop you. He says that man's greatest victory is not outside, but within. When you conquer your mind, no battle remains difficult for you. And finally, George Matthew Adams says these immortal words: "You can do everything that you truly want to do. If you believe with all your heart, then even mountains will bow. Paths will be created, and destiny will be at your feet." So friends, this is the real essence of the book, You Can. This book teaches us that our greatest strength is hidden within us. Every person has the capacity to achieve something. The only need is to believe in it. When you learn to trust yourself, no power in the world can stop you. Your fears are simply the wall between you and your dreams. And when you break that wall, no one can stop you. Always remember that the one who tries never loses. Every failure is a lesson, and every new day is an opportunity. Start taking steps to make your dreams come true from today itself. Because you can. And if you found this book summary inspiring, please like this video. Subscribe to The Morale so that in-depth book summaries of more such transformative books reach you first. Thank you.